Everything started 57 years ago when the worst country in the world, that's called Israel, occupied our brothers' land in Palestine and entered its land without any introductions by the help of the United Kingdom. In 1967, the Israeli army occupied the western side of the Jordan River that was a part of Jordan at that time, and it also occupied Gaza and Sinai and a lot more places in Jordan and Syria, and this war was known as the 6 Days War. The occupation of Israel to Palestine continued for 57 years till today, and Israel is killing hundreds and thousands of adults and children, along with destroying a huge amount of buildings and houses in Gaza and different places around Gaza, around Palestine, and no one is stopping that bloody war. And when Hamas, a Palestinian group that is trying to help their country, tried to take revenge from this stupid army, all of the countries that supports Israel said that this group of people are terrorists, just to keep Israel in the safe zone and make the Arabs look to them with a negative way. Till now, no one is stopping Israel, and even the Arabs and Muslim countries are just helping them with food and tents. But what they forgot is that these Palestinians has a God called Allah, and He will come in a day and take their revenge from these stupid people, and also take revenge from the countries that are supporting them.
Today we have Miss Yasmin, a drama teacher, and she is Palestinian, and we're going to ask her questions about the topic. Okay, first question is, do you support the right of return for Palestinian refugees and their descendants?
Okay, of course they have the full right to return to their homeland. Okay, but some of the refugees haven't been living in Palestine from the beginning, so they had a full life in another country. For example, I was born in Egypt, so I have lived all over my life here in Egypt. All my education was here in Egypt. So I might love to go every now and then and to visit and to see my family there, but if I'm gonna return forever, I would like to return if the country is free, Palestine is totally free. I'm not gonna return while it's still occupied, while people are still dying, while everybody there, Palestinians have been humiliated all the time. So if this is the case, I wouldn't like to return until Palestine is completely free.
Okay, thank you. Second question is,
but like on the other side, some refugees they are like dying to go back. Like those who were kicked out in the last war to another countries, they didn't want to leave, by the way, and they wanted to stay in the country, even if they were staying over the rubble of the buildings, but they didn't want to leave, so they were forced to leave. Those who lived their whole life there in Palestine and they were forced to leave, of course, they have their own right and their whole right to go back to their country, to their homeland, and not to live in another country, even if they especially if they're old or they feel like they were forced to leave their country. So they have the right to go back. I agree on this.
okay, and next question is, how would you characterize the impact of the Israeli occupation on the daily lives of Palestinians? particularly in terms of access to resources, movement, and economic opportunities?
Palestinians, during the war, we can't say Palestinians' life because nowadays Palestinians, they do not have any kind of life, not even the minimum. They're lacking food, water, the basic needs. We're talking about the basic needs. What kind of life is this? They are begging to have flour to bake some bread. They don't have any kind of resources that can make them alive. Even the hygiene resources, the water, the food, the medical care, the shelters, the clothes. Like in the cold weather in the winter, and Palestine is way colder than Egypt, and they didn't have enough clothes to wear to cover their bodies from the cold weather. So it was like suiciding. This is not a life. And they know that this is happening, and they're aiming to reach the genocide in this country. So they don't want Palestinians to stay, and they don't want new generations to come, so they can it's like kind of destruction.
Okay, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
your time.
Thank you so much.
Up next, I have Hania answering a set of questions. The question is, how do you perceive the role of historical narratives in shaping perspectives on the Israel-Palestinian conflict?
Alien people started to say fake news to the whole world, just to believe that Palestinians are wrong and they are right. They just want to prove that they are right and they own the country. However, they just want to prove that they are right and they own the country. However, they want to prove that Palestinians who came to them and started the fight, which is wrong.
So the next question is, how familiar are you with the history and certain situations of Palestine?
No, I never lived there, but I know lots of things happening there. People in other countries started to boycott and block celebrities, which I'm so happy about.
So the next question is, do you support the right of return of Palestinian refugees and their descendants?
Yes, because that is their home country and that is their right to have their country again, and it's not Israel's right to take Palestine's country.